Today on Rappler. On day 2 of the conclave, black smoke from the Sistine Chapel chimney signals no new pope.
Isang tao na hindi mo maganda pagkatao.
Former President Estrada and Manila Mayor Lim trade insults once again. And North Korea ends the 60-year armistice with South Korea. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. Black smoke billows from the Sistine Chapel on the second day of the conclave that will elect the successor of resigned Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI. 115 cardinal electors failed to elect the Pope on the first round of voting Tuesday. The next round of voting will start around 11 p.m. Manila time. Black smoke indicates no one got the 2/3 majority vote needed to become the 266th Pope. White smoke means a pope has been chosen. The atmosphere is heavy with suspense with no clear frontrunner, though 3 candidates emerge as favorites. Italy's Angelo Scola, Brazil's Odilo Scherer, and Canada's Marc Ouellet, all conservatives like Benedict. Some analysts suggest Benedict's resignation could push the Cardinals to take an equally unusual decision and that an outsider could emerge as a compromise candidate. 2/3 of the Cardinals are from Europe and North America. Vatican experts say only someone who knows the Vatican bureaucracy can reform the scandal-tainted Roman Curia. The battle for Manila continues. After facing off in a television debate Tuesday, re-electionist Alfredo Lim and former President Joseph Estrada meet again, this time in the University of the Philippines in Manila. Ayi Makaraig reports.
Yung sinasabi ng umiyak sa akin si Escudero, pero siya tayo daw umiyak.
Ano yun eh, ba't ako luluha sa isang tao na hindi mo maganda pagkatao?
It's round 2 of the Joseph Estrada Alfredo Lim political battle royale for the country's capital. A day after sparring at ABS-CBN's Umagang Harapan, the 2 candidates for Manila Mayor square off at the Thrilla and UP Manila debate. The title couldn't be more fitting. While the debate was supposed to tackle student concerns, Estrada and Lim come swinging at each other. The former president hits the Manila Mayor's leadership, citing the high poverty and crime rate under his watch. Lim defends his record and it goes downhill from there.
In the case of the Santa Mesa Tourist and Development Corporation, the Supreme Court admonished the city for issuing an ordinance that is legislated morality. Public servants must respect the rights of citizens.
Tanungin ko siya, ano nangyari kay Bobby Dacer at yung kasama niya? Human rights siya. Ano nangyari kay Bentahin? The Pagcor employee who gave the day kay Morato, yung nagkakasino sila, may atom bomb. Bakit after he won, nawala si Bentahin? Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa nakikita. Saan naroon na human rights ni Bentahin?
The hosts remind the candidates students want to focus on solutions to problems like traffic obstruction because of illegal vendors.
Pero dahil pipinisitan nyo itong problema, yun ang gagawin natin. So I said a while ago, in 2 weeks' time, yung problema nyo, magkamaroon ng solusyon.
Yung mga vendors na ay may lagay. Kaya sila binibigyan siya, illegal. Kaya alam mo mayroon niya, pag pulis din yun.
Lim and Estrada also clash on the transfer of the Pandacan oil depot. While the mayor says oil companies should be given time, Estrada cites the danger of postponing the move. Yet the debate again digresses when Lim raises Estrada's plunder conviction in 2007. Lim says if Estrada were really innocent, he should have appealed the verdict instead of begging for pardon from then-President Arroyo. The mayor says this is his edge over his rival.
Yung sinasabi niya, ako nagmamakawa. Kahit na kanina, sandali lang ba?
Then you stomach somebody who has been convicted for plunder, sentenced for life sentence, to be the mayor of the city of Manila. Nakakahiya ho yata yun. This is the truth. Mr. President, kayo ba ito?
Students couldn't help but express their dismay with the mudslinging taking time from questions on flooding and security.
Yung mga sagot po nila kasi medyo abstract siya, hindi siya masyadong concrete.
So gusto mo na isa pang third candidate?
Kung meron sana na alternative.
Those who watch the debate say it's hard to choose who is the better candidate. With personal jabs and attacks, the debate between Dirty Harry and Asyong Salonga turns out to be like one intense boxing bout. But with a focus away from Manila's urgent issues and problems, students here say it's neither Lim nor Estrada, but the voters who will be knocked out. Ai Macraig, Rappler.
The Philippine Navy arrests 35 alleged followers of the Sultan of Sulu on their way to Sabah. The group of 34 men and 1 woman on board 2 vessels was stopped by 2 patrol ships early Wednesday in Tawi-Tawi. The Navy says it found, quote, numerous firearms and ammunition after searching the boats. A week ago, another group of 67 followers of Sultan Jamalul Kiram III were also intercepted in Tawi-Tawi before heading to Lahad-Datu, Sabah. The Foreign Affairs Department says Malaysia refuses to allow access to Filipinos detained for alleged involvement in the ongoing Sabah standoff. Malaysia earlier said it arrested more than 60 Filipinos involved. DFA spokesman Raul Hernandez says, "We want to meet and talk to our people who have been detained so we can know their condition and find out what assistance we can extend to them." Asked if Malaysia's refusal may have something to do with alleged human rights violations against Filipinos, Hernandez says, "It's difficult to make such conclusions because we might border on accusations." Malaysia did allow Philippine consular officials to provide assistance to Filipinos not involved in the standoff. North Korea confirms it's ending its armist disagreement with South Korea. A lengthy statement by the North's Armed Forces Ministry argues the real warmongering is coming from the United States and its, quote, puppets in Seoul. North Korea's ministry spokesman says the armistice agreement is no longer valid. North Korea is not restrained by the North-South Declaration on Non-Aggression. The spokesman adds, what's left to be done now is an action of justice and merciless retaliation of the army. The move increases hostilities between the 2 countries. Josh Villanueva files this video blog.
Tensions between North and South Korea reached new heights today after North Korea threatens a massive and merciless retaliation against its enemies. That includes wiping out the South Korean island of Bangyong, which is a border island with about 5,000 residents. Today is also the first time that North Korea confirmed that it was canceling a 60-year-old armistice between both countries, basically a peace pact that ended the Korean War in 1953. Without that peace pact, both nations are literally at war and hostilities can resume. Now, North Korea is reacting to 2 things. First, sanctions imposed by the United Nations following North Korea's 3rd military and nuclear test last week, and joint military operations between the United States and South Korea, which began on Monday. Now, North Korea has threatened a nuclear attack on both nations, and while observers believe that it is basically blustering on the part of North Korea, they find enough evidence or a strong reason to believe that North Korea could carry out some sort of military show of force in the coming days. Josh Villanueva, Rappler, Incheon, South Korea.
Well, let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 5, NASA scientists say the Curiosity rover uncovered proof of an environment that could have supported life on Mars. An analysis of a Mars rock sample showed minerals, including hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen, the building blocks of life. A project scientist says the environment they found was, quote, habitable, benign, and supportive of life. At number 9, U.S. authorities begin investigations after hackers post personal financial data of high-ranking officials. Hackers using a Russian web address published the credit reports and social security numbers of First Lady Michelle Obama, Federal Bureau of Investigation Director Robert Mueller, U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder, and Los Angeles Police Chief Charles Beck. Personal information of Vice President Joe Biden and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton were also posted. And at number 10, the New York State Supreme Court rules against New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg's ban on the sale of large sugary drinks. A judge says Bloomberg exceeded his authority by addressing the issue before the city's Board of Health and not the City Council. Bloomberg's lawyer says an appeal will be filed to address the, quote, aired ruling. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Street kids from Divisoria are making their dreams come true. They're going to Belgium and Paris to sing. Devon Wong reports.
Every week for the past year, Jascora takes the jeepney from her home in Binondo to choir practice in Makati.
Nagugustuhan ko po yung yung mga kanta. Mahilig po akong kumanta.
It's a long trek across town, but Jascora and her choir mates are passionately preparing for their biggest performance yet.
This is the first time that the children will go out of the country.
The Verlani Children's Choir is making their international debut in Belgium and France, and they couldn't be more excited.
They're very, very excited. They've actually been having French lessons to learn how to speak French when they go there. And also they always tell me that they want to see the Eiffel Tower and other places in Paris.
It's a dream come true for all the kids in the choir, but it's a particularly special opportunity for the 4 members who come from Divisoria. Jascora, Ramil, Jomar, and Trixie, the choir's youngest member, were discovered through the group's street education program. Volunteer teachers and social workers collect street children in the area for afternoon lessons in a portable classroom. Most of the students have never gone to an actual school. These simple lessons are the only way for them to meet positive role models, who open their eyes to opportunities in the world. Jascora and the others auditioned for the choir program, and they haven't stopped coming since. Now they're looking forward to their first overseas performance and their first ride on an airplane.
Masaya. Kasi makakapunta na rin ako sa ibang bansa at makikita ko na rin yung mga places to.
Their big adventure is being supported by a handful of donors, helping out with airline tickets to clothes for the chillier climate. But they still can't afford other expenses on the trip.
We've been getting some sponsorships and donations, but at the moment we're still looking for financial donations from individuals or companies who would want to help in the living expenses of the choir in Europe.
The foundation hopes that last-minute donors will step forward in the final hours. But for the next 3 weeks, the choir members are busy practicing their repertoire and excited to pack their bags for the new horizons ahead. Devon Wong, Rappler, Manila.
Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel, and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page, which crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories which have gotten the most votes on the mood meter and chooses the mood of the day. If you take a look today, we've got several stories on the conclave, what's happening in Rome. Black smoke after the first conclave vote. 38% inspired, elaborate rituals to elect 266th Pope, 44% amused. Aside from the Pope, we've got, this is interesting, the story that's gotten the most number of votes today, Lim Erap Face-Off. Napakasinungaling mo. How you're such a liar. 48% amused, 27% annoyed. Even here, though, you see the mood of the day, bright red, 5% angry. If you take a look at the red circles, today, most people are angry. Well, that's Rappler's Newscast for today, Wednesday, March 13th, 2013. It is 3/13/13. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.